Sri Namaha. To discuss how to import modules in your programming. So we have three different ways of importing a module. First one is importing the entire module. So you have to specify import followed by your module name. Example, import math, which means that whatever the functions that you have defined in this module, all the functions you are importing in your programming, and you can use all the functions in your program. The second method is specific functions or objects. To import specific functions or objects. So the syntax is from module name, import, and function name. Which function that you are going to import, you have to specify. Example, from math import square root, which means we are going to use only square root function in your program. The second one is from math import square root and power, which means we are going to use these two functions in your program. The third method is import star, which is used to import all the items from the module to the current calling module. Example, from math import star. So now we are going to discuss how to access functions of the importer module. So in previous we have seen what are the different ways of importing a module. Now we are going to see how we are going to use the functions. To use functions, constants, variables. Already we have discussed the structure of your module. In your structure you may be having constants, functions or variables or classes and objects in your program. To import it, we have to specify the module name followed by the function name separated by a dot symbol. This format we call it as a dot notation. See, the syntax is module name dot followed by the function name. Example, print of math.sqrt. So, which is the module here? Math dot operator you have to specify, then followed by the function that is present in that particular module. So, here first step of importing is you have to define import math. Then you have to call that particular module dot operator, then followed by square root. And the second one is math dot log of 10. So why do we specify the function? So after importing your math module, you have to qualify the name of the function with the name of the package using dot operator. That is, in math modules, you may be having many functions. So, which function that you are going to incorporate, you have to specify that name. You have to qualify the name by using your dot operator. Now, the second method is from importing module using function. Right? In this method, a particular method will be added to the current program. So, in this case, we need not qualify the name. Right? So, here from math import py, which means that as I have given only one function name here, I need not specify the math.py. I can specify only the name of the function. For example, from import module start. So it is also similar in importing the entire package or importing the package. But this method, qualifying each function module name is not required. So here in this example, from math import star square root of 25. So here we are not specifying it as math dot square root. So in this case, we need not specify, as we have given import star, we need not specify the qualifier name. So we can also import multiple elements of modules from math import square root of log 10. So why do we have a difference in importing the modules? Let us see an example. We have to talk about namespace here, right? See the example. In CCA competition of Vidyalaya, there are students from different classes having similar names. Say POOJA of 10th standard and same POOJA of 11th standard and same POOJA GUPTA of 12th standard. As long as they are there in the class, there is no confusion. Since 10th standard, there is only one POOJA. Same way, one POOJA in 11th standard, one POOJA in 12th standard. But the problem arises when they are sitting together, right? So all the sections of POOJA will sit together in the sense which will create a confusion which class POOJA we need to call. So we need to qualify the name, right? So is it 10th standard POOJA or is it 11th standard POOJA or it 12th standard POOJA? So in previous example, each class we can say a class 10 has its own namespace and where there is no two namespaces of POOJA GUPTA. So same holds for 11th and 12th. So 10th standard will have its own namespace, 12th standard have their own namespace. The same way 11th standard POOJA has their own namespace. So in Python, the namespace can be thought of as named environment holding a logical group of related objects. Which are related objects, you will be storing it in that particular namespace. So even in Python modules creates a namespace having it similar to that of module name. There is a that is namespace of a module. Area is also an area. So when two namespace comes together to resolve any kind of object or a dispute occurs, Python asks you to qualify. That's why we specify the module name dot followed by the object name or the function which you are going to call. So there are three different types of namespaces. One is your global, local and built-in namespace. So it will create its own namespace. So every module creates its own global namespace. Every module creates a global namespace. When we call functions, it is a local namespace is created for all the names in it. Built-in module includes that is both local and global namespace. See, function creates a local namespace and a module creates a global namespace, whereas built-in namespace contains both your global and local namespace. Thank you.